New at 6, fire roars through a home, trapping a Rocky River man. Snow wreaks havoc on local roads. What you need to know to stay safe when driving.
Call 911 right now.
And an ice rescue goes wrong as rescuers get sucked into frigid waters. The news at 6 starts right now.
On your side with Northeast Ohio's best coverage. This is News Channel 5.
New tonight, a Rocky River man is dead, killed when fire roared through his home on East Asplin Drive overnight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Baldwin in for Tracy Carlos. The fire started around 3:45 this morning. Firefighters tell us when they got to the home, it was fully engulfed in flames. The medical examiner's office told us the victim is an elderly man. His name has not been released yet. It took firefighters about an hour to put the blaze out. The cause will be determined by the fire marshal. Accident after accident. That's what's greeted drivers who were out and about today after a blast of snow moved through Northeast Ohio this morning. Police were busy all over, and an SUV flipped over on I-271 and Pepper Pike around 10 o'clock. Fire officials tell us the woman hit a patch of ice, then hit the wall, causing her vehicle to roll over. She was taken to Hillcrest Hospital and is expected to be okay. And as the snow fell, AAA tells us their calls increased. In fact, they say they did double their typical winter Saturday call volume. The majority of calls were for stuck vehicles because of slippery roads. There was a lot of calls for dead batteries. Meteorologist Trent McGill is in for Jason. He joins me. And Trent, what can we expect? Do we expect more snow to come the rest of the night?
You know, nothing major, but we're still getting some more snow out there. The thing is that the roads are already, treated and things like that. So we still have to be careful out there when there's fresh snow on the ground, sidewalks, things like that. Let's take a look at it outside right now. Tracking some light to briefly moderate snow right now. Temperature-wise, we're all in the upper 20s and low 30s. But, this snow isn't really going to be ending anytime soon. It doesn't look like there's much further north of us, but this is actually going to be enhanced by a little lake effect. We're already getting a little band coming off of Lake Michigan. Locally, we'll get a little bit of enhancement right here in northern Ohio as soon as these winds pick up a little bit out of the northwest, and it'll be a breezy evening, that's for sure. So the weather that'll get in your way this evening, well, of course, it'll be the cold, but we're almost getting used to that cold just about now, all right? Well, the snow, that will be sticking around, and coming up in a little bit, I'll talk about how much more snow we can expect. I also do want to remind you that our Storm Shield app is on sale right now. It's only $2.99. It's in the App Store, and it's on the Google Play Store also for Androids and iPhones. But you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. That's always free. More details coming up. This forecast is free, too, in just a couple minutes.
All right, thanks, Trent. This latest snow blast is keeping ODOT and city crews busy. As I said earlier, the weather was responsible for numerous accidents across Northeast Ohio. As of now, major roads are wet, but those driving conditions can be hazardous to you if you're going too fast. News Channel 5 Stephanie Ramirez joins us. And now, Stephanie, seems like every year when that first snow blast hits, it gives drivers some troubles.
Facility earlier today and saw a bunch of accidents on the way there. ODOT crews again are working 12-hour shifts, but the way people are driving out here, they say, is making things difficult for them, which is why ODOT is again cautioning drivers.
Just to slow down a little bit, that's all they need to do.
Getting his truck ready for the next trip out, ODOT driver Gary Castile says one of the most difficult parts of clearing the snow is dealing with drivers who don't slow down.
They just want to pass me up all the time, and I may have not treated that part of that road for maybe an hour or so.
Castile says he's seen cars spin out from this, and while this spin out may not have been due to the same reason, ODOT and emergency officials say it all stems from people not slowing down in slick or wet road conditions. For Castile, an accident could prevent plows from clearing that area. And for fire and ambulance crews, more accidents means
our response is slower also. If there's snow on the road and the traffic is bad, it just takes us a little bit longer to get there.
Which Parma Fire Department spokesperson Doug Turner says could make all the difference when crews are responding to life or death situations. Even drivers in the area say they've been seeing different habits on the road that have the potential to cause accidents.
On the freeways, especially on the west side, people get scared. When they panic, they tend to go a little bit faster or slower or a standstill. I think that doing that causes trouble for other people to drive.
And ODOT says other things that can cause trouble for drivers include the condition of your vehicle. Some tips: brush all of the snow off of your vehicle. Check your wiper blades, refill your windshield wiper fluid, and make sure to check your tires and tire pressure.
And Mike, I can tell you the scariest experience I ever had on the highway was running out of windshield wiper fluid driving. You can imagine the salt and the water, melted snow splashing on your windshield. So check for those tips and just make sure to take it slow as we continue with this weather. On your side in Cleveland, Stephanie Ramirez, News Channel 5.
All right, Steph, thank you much. I have been there as well. All right. Folks, take a look at this. A private snowplow driver hit a utility pole on Route 43 in Solon this morning, splitting the pole in two. For a while, a section of road was shut down, but now police have one lane in each direction open to traffic. We are not the only ones being hit with snow. Speed limits are being reduced on several Pennsylvania highways, including the Pennsylvania Turnpike, to 45 miles an hour due to heavy snow. Even Washington, D.C. got snow today. Forecasters expect 4 to 8 inches of snow in southern New England, including Boston and Providence, Rhode Island. New York City and Philadelphia will see a mix of snow and rain. A man wanted in connection to 4 bank robberies is now behind bars. Warrensville Heights police arrested Cedric Sumter at the Express Inn on Northfield Road this morning. The FBI says a tip led police to Sumter. Agents say he's been linked to multiple bank robberies since October. And tonight, there is still no cause for a fire that killed a 7-year-old Cleveland boy last night. Jacob Hunter died after the fire broke out in his house on East 82nd Street. It's believed the fire started on the 2nd floor. When our crew arrived, the lights on a Christmas tree were still on in a 1st floor window. A flight in Russia goes horribly wrong. Find out what happened as a jetliner tried to come in for a landing. The fiscal cliff drama in Washington heats up. Can Washington's leaders find common ground to avoid what economists say would be a disaster for this country? And thin ice. A man falls into a lake, then another and another. What it took to save these people as the news continues. At least 4 people are dead after a passenger airliner careened off the runway at Russia's 3rd busiest airport, broke apart and caught fire while landing today. The plane ended up partly on a nearby highway. Officials say there were 8 people on the plane belonging to the Russian airline Red Wings. The plane was flying from the Czech Republic. No cause has been determined, but it was snowing at the time of the accident. In Chicago, a woman is dead after 3 others badly burned, including 2 children, after fire ravages their apartment. And now, according to the Chicago Tribune, officials say this was an arson attack and someone poured an accelerant around the apartment and possibly on the children. Police found an empty gas can near the building. Relatives told investigators someone in the home had mental issues and had threatened to burn it. This just in, former President George H.W. Bush, or Bush 41, continues to get better. He's now been moved out of intensive care into a regular hospital room. Bush has been in a Texas hospital since November 23rd. He's being treated for a bronchitis-related cough when he developed a fever. In a statement today, the Bushes thanked everyone for their well wishes. With time running out, Senate leaders are scrambling to put together an agreement to avoid the fiscal cliff. And tonight, President Obama is pressing lawmakers to cut a deal. ABC's Richard Cantu tells us what's going on behind closed doors.
President Obama is urging Congress to focus.
I'm modestly optimistic that an agreement can be achieved.
At the White House Friday, the president and congressional leaders spent some 70 minutes in a negotiating session and agreed to keep talking.
It was constructive, and as I say, candor is constructive, and I think it moved us forward. But we'll see.
I'm hopeful and optimistic.
As snow fell on a mostly deserted Washington, the two sides continued bargaining. If there is no deal on the big picture, President Obama wants a smaller stopgap bill extending tax cuts for those making $250,000 or less and continuing unemployment benefits for millions who will lose them when the clock strikes 2013.
I believe such a proposal could pass both houses with bipartisan majorities, as long as these leaders allow it to come to a vote.
We can still avoid going over the fiscal cliff if the president and the Democrat-controlled Senate step forward this week and work with Republicans to solve this problem and solve it now.
Frustration over the impasse runs from Wall Street, where the Dow is down more than 400 points since the talk stalled last week, to Main Street.
This is America, and they should be working for the American people.
The parties are just trying to outdo each other.
Sit down, get in a room, and don't come out of that room until you've got this thing taken care of.
Senate leaders hope to have a bill to vote on by Sunday. The House is back in session that afternoon and could vote on the Senate version. Richard Cantu, ABC News, New York.
Danger on the ice. A rescue of one becomes a rescue of many. How it all ended next. And the Browns go with another rookie quarterback. Will Thad Lewis get the help he needs to sweep the Steelers? Sports coming up. Tonight, the two eastbound lanes on Stokes Boulevard in Cleveland are back open after a car slammed into a fire hydrant last night. As crews fix the hydrant, a 36-inch water main broke while workers repair the main. The westbound lanes will stay closed. Stay with News Channel 5 and NewsNet5.com for updates. This next story you have to see to believe. Incredible pictures of an ice rescue. This story has a happy ending, but as ABC's Ron Claiborne reports, it could have ended tragically.
The screams say it all. You're watching new video of a sledding excursion gone horribly wrong. The whole thing starts when a man falls into a freezing cold lake in Wrightwood, California, and then a chain reaction of sorts. One person after another trying desperately to save him, and one person after another getting sucked into the frigid water like a black hole.
Throw the rope out. Lasso. Pull him in.
As the clock ticks, more men, women, and children try to come to the rescue, only to slip into the ice themselves. A crowd gathered on the shore as well, frantically screaming for help.
Call 911 right now.
After 5 minutes, nearly a dozen people are in the water, while others throw ropes and inner tubes to no avail.
Give me the rope from under the seat.
Under the
now.
seat. Now. Right there.
Mickey Herman pulled double duty. You can hear him calling for a rope to help in the rescue efforts, all the while capturing the ordeal on camera.
And when the people started going through the ice, it was just total panic. You saw people taking their belts off. It was just total chaos and out of control. We saw that poor guy, the first one to go in. It was obvious he didn't know how to swim. Thought that might be it. We wouldn't see him again. Unfortunately, he came back up.
A harrowing 9 minutes later, the man who first fell in, along with all of his would-be rescuers, managed to make it out of the water. And amazingly, all of them are doing just fine.
Folks, if this is a warning to you, that last video that you saw, the ice is just not thick enough. You can't be doing that. You really got to watch out with stuff like that.
Well, and we just got into winter. We're, what, like a week into the official start of winter. So, you know, we'll get our chances to get out there. I know a lot of, you know, ice fishermen are out there getting ready to...
They're ready.
Getting ready, but not yet. It's just too dangerous. If there is any ice actually on the water right now, just be careful with it. Just don't go out on it just
Hold
yet.
off.
But, hey, we do need to talk about this weather. We have some snow still in the area, and this isn't even, you know, really part of that storm system that went through earlier this morning. That gave us a couple inches. Reports have been around 2 inches, so that 1 to 3 we were talking about yesterday and earlier last week, that was pretty much spot on. We got about 1 to 3 inches area wide. Locally, we are dealing with some more snow, though, that'll be here. Well, it's here now, but it'll be here through the overnight hours and into early Sunday morning. And this is why you're already starting to see like a little preview of what's to come. We're getting some lake effect little streamers off of Michigan, Lake Michigan. We'll get that off of Erie as well. Right now, though, it's just some widespread light to briefly moderate snowfall out there. Any accumulations, I would say less than an inch with this activity. But, you know, right along the lake where it's getting a little bit enhanced because it's closer to that warm Lake Erie, we could wake up to a good inch to 2, maybe even 3 inches early tomorrow morning. And this is what I'm watching, these little streamers that'll set up when the winds kind of you know, really get in line with that lake. That's when we'll get some briefly moderate rainfall or snowfall, I should say. This is what the models have for us overnight tonight. Most of us snow-free, but Cleveland, Akron, eastward to Ashtabula, mainly in the primary snow belt is where I think most of the snow will actually be overnight tonight. Elsewhere, just a dusting, as you get a dusting extra from what you already have. When you're into that snow belt area, we'll likely see maybe another 1 to 3 inches. We stay mainly dry through much of your Sunday, though. That's always some good news, right? Here's your snowfall cast. Looks like less than an inch, just about area wide, but you're seeing some of the darker blues right around the snow belt. Even into Chardon could get up to around 3 inches by early tomorrow morning, so we'll have to watch that overnight tonight. So if you have any evening plans, you'll definitely want to bundle up and bring the snow gear with you because we do have snow still out there, and it'll stick around throughout the rest of the evening. Temperature-wise in Worcester, we're at 29, 28 in Mansfield. Elyria is at 31. Cleveland's at 30 degrees. Elyria just changed to 30 degrees right before I changed the little graphic right there. If you are planning to head out, though, by 9 o'clock, upper 20s, then we'll hang out in the middle and upper 20s through about midnight. East of Cleveland by midnight that's when we'll start to see the snow kind of picking up a bit from that lake effect. So here we go. Scattered snow east of Cleveland, breezy 23 degrees. Tomorrow we're looking like we're not going to warm up much. We'll see a few peaks of sunshine, but it looks like upper 20s to near 30 degrees just about everywhere. We can't rule out an isolated lake effect snow shower east, far east, like northern and eastern Ashtabula County, but most of us will stay snow-free tomorrow. Looks like temperatures tomorrow afternoon are staying on the cooler side. Quick look at the 7-day forecast puts us in the 30s today and tomorrow, or tomorrow and Monday, I should say. Then we drop into the 20s after another round of some snow, likely, as 2012 wraps up and 2013 gets kicked off. Let's go back to the desk.
All right, Trent, thanks for keeping us informed. Folks, did you know you can stay ahead of the weather with our Storm Shield app? And right now, you can get it for just $2.99 in the Apple, iTunes, or Android Google Play stores. That's a $2 savings. Think about it. Last week was $4.99. Also, our News Channel 5 iPad app is also on sale for just 99 cents. The special pricing ends next Friday. Sports anchor Mike Cairns is here. And Mike, the Browns, they're going for the season sweep.
Yeah, been a long time. They're going to have to do it with a rookie quarterback, Michael, and that is not a good sign. But they're missing guys on both sides. We'll talk about that coming up. And the Cavaliers going after a big number for their head coach, Byron Scott, tonight in Brooklyn. A preview when we come back. Everything lives. Browns looking to bring the brooms into Heinz Field tomorrow to complete the first season sweep. Now the Browns looking to bring the brooms into Heinz Field tomorrow to complete the first season sweep of the Steelers since 1988. But both teams will be missing key players. But for Browns rookie quarterback Thaddeus Lewis, it'll be his NFL debut against one of the league's top defenses. Lewis was asked about how that factors in to his first career NFL start.
You know, any team could be the #1 defense, but just because you face the #1 defense, you know, you just got to go out there and do the things that you coach to do, make the right decisions, you know, and let the guys help you out, no matter what team it is. So if it wasn't Pittsburgh, it was a different team, it'd be the same process.
Cavaliers head coach Byron Scott is stuck on career win number 399 after the Cavs blew a lead in the fourth quarter in a loss to the Hawks last night. But Daniel Gibson, suffering a concussion in that game, did not make the trip to Brooklyn for tonight's game. Kyrie Irving, well, he added another shot to his already growing highlight reel with a buzzer beater right before the half. Didn't hold up, though, as the young Cavs couldn't finish, which has become a recurring theme with this young team. But Kyrie had a message for his guys after that shot that sent him into the locker room.
I was telling the guys to get on the bus and go to Brooklyn after that shot. You know, it was a momentum push for us. But, you know, it doesn't mean anything now.
College hoops today, the Cougars of Chicago State at Value City Arena. Quentin Pippen says, mark me down for 3. Cougars up early, but the Bucks would regroup. Great pass to Evan Ravenel with the two-handed flush. And then right before the half, Lenzel Smith Jr. with the left hand. Buckeyes up by 13 at the break. Second half, Big Ten's leading scorer, Deshaun Thomas, making the splash from downtown. Ohio State leading this one late, 64-36. Well, folks, finally, all this snow makes me think of hitting the slopes. How about this little guy in Canada? 18 months old, folks, and he's snowboarding. He's not skiing, that's snowboarding. But you want to know the coolest thing about this whole run down the mountain? He's got a pacifier in his mouth. Remember, if you had kids, if you put a pacifier in your mouth, you can pretty much let the kids do whatever they want because they're going to be cool. We're back after the break.